Hello all, it's Tiger here, and today I will be going over some AI functionality and behavior for EZRPG. Uh, just before we start, just want to mention this is only just core functionality is what I'll be showcasing. So there won't be any like models or animations in here. It's going to be a lot of just programmer art, just focusing on the functionality itself. Without further ado, let's get started. Right, so starting off with the enemy spawner, it's pretty straightforward. Its job is just to spawn enemies. The one I created, basically it just needs a type or type of enemy to spawn, and give it a radius, and it will use this radius as the spawn radius to spawn the enemies within. So basically, when it's time for it to spawn enemies, it chooses a random spot within the specified radius, and it shoots a raycast down to the ground to find a valid spawning position for that enemy to spawn at. These enemy spawners also have like their own pooling system, so based on the max amount of enemies that is specified on startup, that spawner will instantiate all those enemies and then deactivate them. And whenever it's time to spawn an enemy, it'll just look through that pool for enemies that are able to be used, and then it will activate that. And upon activation, enemies will start going through their states and their behaviors. I guess I could just showcase this. So for this spawner right here, have a slime, a spawn radius of 15, have a spawn rate, which basically which specifies like how often you can want the spawner to spawn the enemies, and the maximum amount. So I'll press play here. You will see these enemies start to spawn every 3 seconds. It should be. Yep. And upon activation, these enemies will start going through their wandering states. So they pick a random spot to wander to, and then they just keep on wandering. Each spawner keeps track of its own enemies that it spawns, and each enemy that is spawned keeps track of its spawner, so that when an enemy does die, the spawner will deactivate it, reset it, and gets it prepared so that next time it needs to spawn another enemy, it could just use that enemy that has already died. Now let's talk about enemies specifically. So for these enemy behaviors, I decided to go with a state machine. So each enemy state has a reference to the different states that it can transition to. State machines have their pros and cons, but the reason I went for a state machine is it helps to streamline the behavior and the functionality. So it's great for managing that complexity, and also helps with maintaining the code for these behaviors. So first off, we have the slime enemy. Slime enemy is pretty basic. Just wanders around to its different wandering points, and if the player gets close or within its attack range, then it will go to the player and perform its attacks. And if the player leaves the range, then it goes back to wandering around to different points within that spawner's radius, of course. And that's basically it for the spawner, the slime enemy. Pretty straightforward. Next, we have the wolf enemy, which is kind of similar to all the other enemies, all the base enemies. That is just wanders around within a specified radius, and if the player gets close, it performs an attack. But for the wolf, the attack is slightly different. Well, not slightly, but the attack is quite different. It performs like a leap or a lunge attack at the player. I'll I guess I could just show that right now. Boom. Okay, so we have a wolf here wandering around. Has a bigger, I guess, detection range than the slime enemy, of course. And as you can see, it dodges around whenever it attacks. So player has to be careful because the attack is quite fast. The lunge is quite fast. And yeah, that's basically the wolf enemy. Next up, we have the skeleton enemy, which does this thing, comes to you. But what makes the skeleton enemy different is that during combat, it will randomly dodge to the left or the right to try to, throw the player off with the attacking. So as you can see, that's what it's displaying right now. So let's say we were in combat. I'm attacking, and then out of nowhere, boom, throws me off, dodges to the left, and dodges to the left, and also dodges to the right, but it randomly chooses which way it wants to dodge and performs that. And that's how it differs from the other enemies. Running away now. Woo! Next, we have the boss enemy, which is the dragon. Dragon, quite different. Since it is the final boss, it is quite different from the other enemies. So for the states, the dragon has like a hovering state where it will go into the air. It has another state where it shoots fireballs at the player. It also performs a dive attack at the player. And it also has a state where it runs out of stamina, gets tired, and has to come down to rest. And that resting period would be technically the attack phase for the player to get some damage. So let's see. I just gotta show it off right here. Boom. So this is the dragon. See right there, perform that dive attack. As you can see, boom. Just waiting for it to do some other stuff. Oh, there goes the fireballs. Shooting fireballs at me. What do you want to do now? Oh, changes into more fireballs. Okay. Going up. Ooh, more fireballs. Okay, that's what we're doing. Cool. More fireballs. Sheesh, this guy just spamming these fireballs. Oh, ooh, cheeky. Did a fireball and a dive. Okay, I see you. It can also dive while it's on the floor as well. Oh, just like that. as I was mentioning. Ooh, get out of there. Yup. And yeah, that's basically the states of the dragon enemy. Yep. Boom. Something's off here though. Boom. Yep. And this will be damage phase right here. Boop, 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 boop. Do some damage while the dragon is tired. Do some damage while it's recovering. And now you back off. And ooh. I'm in the Matrix here. Boom. Okay. And there we go. And that's basically it. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions for us, you can just leave them in the comments. We'll try our best to respond. Yeah, thank you for watching.